Welcome to episode 15 of Convergence with Karen Holton here on People for People Radio. Find out how the personal is political as we explore the politics here on Earth, the exopolitics of our galaxy, and how these intersect with spiritual transformation through my unique perspective. Just to catch you up, in episode 8, I shared my latest version of the Quantum Health Transformation Program, Step 9, where we learned more about the practical application of quantum physics, and we examined the benefits of doing light-shadow integration work. In episode 9, I shared my latest version of Quantum Health Transformation Steps 8 and 7, which are the next two steps as we cover this material in reverse order. In episode 9, we covered several ways to self-soothe and integrate our male and female energies to give us more quantum balance in our lives. In episode 10, we covered Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Detoxification Parts 1 and 2. I gave you everything you need to know to safely detoxify your body so you can improve your health and achieve a new level of well-being. In episode 11, we looked at methods to assist you to find ways to improve your mental health and make better use of our full range of emotions with Quantum Health Transformation Step 6 Part 3. We also took a deep dive into eating styles and how a biologically superior diet can assist us spiritually and physically with Quantum Health Transformation Step 5. In episode 12, we moved on to Quantum Health Transformation Step 4, which is designed to help you to achieve a new level of well-being and to detoxify and become free of the negative influences of the social, political, economic construct. In episode 13, we delved into Quantum Health Transformation Step 3, which is designed for those who wish to become the change that we all wish to see in the world and to facilitate the ascension process. This began the third tier and final section of this free online lifestyle program. Last week in episode 14, we looked into Quantum Health Transformation Step 2, which taught you how to make contact with your higher self, spiritual guides, and your soul team. As an overview, Quantum Health Transformation Steps 9, 8, and 7 form the first tier of training in this free online lifestyle course, which will help you to open your mind and expand your awareness. Then the information that I share in Quantum Health Transformation Steps 6, 5, and 4 form the second tier of training, which is all about detoxification to improve health, help you to achieve a new level of well-being, and become free of the negative influences of the social construct. Quantum Health Transformation Steps 3, 2, and 1 form the third and final tier of training. It offers a deeper understanding of your spiritual potential and offer ways to significantly raise your energetic signature. You may want to come back and listen to each episode again, as they contain a lot of information with some deeper concepts to consider. All of the information that I am presenting here was received as part of a spiritual download, and I believe the details are from the Living Library, which is also known as the Akashic Records. and is integrated with my personal life experience and training. If this is your first time joining us, I encourage you to check out the archives here on People for People Radio or my YouTube channel to find all of the episodes of Convergence. Thank you for joining me. I want to remind you that this system of quantum health transformation works well for me. However, you must synthesize this information and take only that which serves you. At the very least, it is my hope that you will be stimulated to seek your own inner wisdom. Today, in episode 15, we will explore Quantum Health Transformation Step 1 White, State of Bliss, and Spiritual Exercises. This final step is the last lesson in the third tier of training for this free online lifestyle program. To learn more, go to my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com, and click the Free Resources tab. Let's start with an overview of Quantum Health Transformation Step 1 White, State of Bliss, and Spiritual Exercises. This step was designed for those who wish to access feelings of comfort, happiness, and spiritual joy. It provides further ascension skills to assist with personal evolution. It upskills knowledge and understanding about the relationship between physical comfort, mental happiness, and spiritual joy. It provides a clear path to spiritual bliss with many blessings. Now, you might be wondering, how is Quantum Health Transformation Step 1 different from other lifestyle programs? It offers a non-religious framework for establishing more spiritual joy. It reveals the hidden benefits of spiritual exercises and practices. It provides a process to help you to create a reality environment which is peaceful and rewarding. Step 1, State of Bliss and Spiritual Exercises will teach you about which elements are necessary for achieving a state of bliss, about the scientific relationship between emotions, your heart, and quality of life. Exercises that will bring joy to your spirit and help you to create a reality environment which is peaceful and rewarding. It will teach you how to respond positively to those who may have injured you. It gives techniques to soften your world so you can relax and trust that everything will be all right. And it exposes the benefits of self-love and self-control. Step 1 offers a deeper understanding of how conflict is actually an opportunity for clarification, resolution, and growth. It offers techniques to generate a state of joy, inner harmony, and ways to pay forward blessings. It will also teach you how to create an internal environment where you can think clearly and rationally. It gives tips for dealing with children and adults who suffer from arrested development. And finally, it will teach you the role of faith in chaos theory, which is a part of quantum physics. So let's get started with the lesson. Quantum Health Transformation, Step 1, State of Bliss and Spiritual Exercises. What is a state of bliss, and how can we personally achieve it? The state of bliss includes feelings of perfect happiness and spiritual joy. Achieving a state of bliss requires comfort for the body, mental happiness and contentment, along with a joyful spirit. The combination of these positive feelings create a magical condition which makes all things possible. You might be wondering how. For one thing, it has been scientifically proven that our emotions affect the strength of our heart's torus energy field, as well as the health of many other bodily systems, both physical and energetic. As you learned from previous lessons, our heart torus field is an important part of our ability to manifest the reality of our choice. This is what they found at the Heart Math Institute, and I'm quoting, "The answers to many of our original questions now provide a scientific basis to explain how and why the heart affects mental clarity, creativity, emotional balance, and personal effectiveness. Our research and that of others indicate that the heart is far more than a simple pump. The heart is, in fact, a highly complex, self-organized information processing center with its own functional brain that communicates with and influences the cranial brain via the nervous system, hormonal system, and other pathways. These influences profoundly affect brain function and most of the body's major organs, and ultimately determine the quality of life." End quote. By practicing the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, we bring comfort to the body in steps 8, 6, and 5, happiness to the mind in steps 9, 7, 4, and 3, and joy to the spirit in steps 2 and 1, thus significantly raising our energetic frequency and creating the conditions necessary to feel a state of bliss. Here are some exercises that will bring joy to your spirit and help you to create a reality environment which is peaceful and rewarding. These exercises will improve every experience you have, and in surprising ways. So the first exercise is exercise love. Excuse me. Practice loving everyone, especially those who disappoint or hurt you. Accept them as they are and honor their life journey. Just as we have disappointed and hurt others, everyone needs the chance to learn, change, and evolve. Refrain from judgment and focus on becoming the change we want to see in others. Of course, you have the right to remove yourself from harm. Let's face it, sometimes it's not safe or in our best interests to love certain people. When we have been injured by another, it seems impossible to love them. It is important to remember that any negative feelings we have towards others adds further injury to ourselves, energetically, physically, and emotionally. It might only be possible to unlove them in the beginning of your forgiveness process. Unloving someone leaves room for them to live their life according to their free will, without our judgment. Love involves our paying attention to other people's lives. Sometimes unlove is necessary to mind our own business and do our own personal work. Unlove is a neutral place as opposed to hate, anger, or jealousy, which are negative states that do harm to all parties involved. When you do eventually achieve the ability to love unconditionally, It doesn't take long before you see your world soften, and people will become more loving and accepting of you. As your world softens, you begin to relax and trust that everything will be all right. Resentments dissolve and past wrongs seem to fade from memory. Instead of falling into the traps of anger, hatred, and resentment, love also allows us to distance ourselves, self-soothe, and recover. Eventually, forgiveness is possible, but we may wish to not trust those who have injured you anymore until they have earned it. Protect yourself and your inner child. Start with self-love. Show yourself that you truly love yourself by taking good care of your body, mind, and spirit. The 9 steps to quantum health transformation will assist. True love stems from self-love. Until we master self-love, we do not truly know what it means to love others. Up until this point, we are merely exercising illusionary love. Put yourself in the very center of your circle of care. Next, exercise joy. Make time to bring feelings of joy into your daily routine. Think, feel, and do things that make you feel joyful. Even if you are busy, listen to inspiring music, watch short comedies, or videos of cute animal antics, and be sure to pass on the joyful feelings by sharing these with others. See the humor in everyday occurrences, especially situations which may have previously invoked a negative response. Resist making fun of others and find humor in your own situations. Don't be afraid to act silly. Silliness can be a powerful tool which alters mood, making room for joy. Play often with your pets, kids, lover, and friends. Play is an essential part of wellness, and it quickly brings you into a joyful state. When challenges come and joyful feelings seem like a thing of the past, try doing some random acts of kindness. Do this anonymously if possible. Every time you do so, and then later when you think about it, you will feel joyful. Once you realize that you can generate a state of joy, practice this daily. Practice peace. Learn to be at peace with yourself and others. Conflict does not have to lead to contentiousness. Conflict is an opportunity for clarification, resolution, and growth. Know your truth. Speak your truth. But do not expect others to see things your way. We all have a unique perspective and deserve respect for what we know. Finding a mutually agreeable solution lifts the relationship to a new level and is very rewarding and satisfying. If resolution does not seem possible, let the issue go. Give it up to the universe to resolve for you. Would you rather be right or be happy? I found that being happy was more important than being right. and it sure feels a lot better too. Since discovering and using the nubby ball concept, which was featured in Quantum Health Transformation Step 9, to see the many possible perspectives in any given situation, I can let things go. I not only can accept others unconditionally, I can also accept myself unconditionally, as I see the many different perspectives that I have held over my own lifetime. Each position gave me a specific vantage point for learning. Let others have their vantage points for learning too. To become truly peaceful, we must become good forgivers. Forgiveness starts within. Once you have compassion for self, compassion for others is much easier to achieve. Altering our environment is another way to bring peace into our lives. And you might want to refer back to Step 8. Spend time in nature. Take a sauna. Listen to music. And become more aware of how your entertainment makes you feel. A little suspense might be exciting, but when it's excessive, it gets you pumping out the cortisol. So does anger, negative thoughts, and resentments, fear, and worry. Meditation is the quick fix. It doesn't take long, can be done almost anywhere, and restores inner harmony. Other quick fixes include stretching, going for a walk, dancing, gardening, and hugging a person, a pet, a tree, anything living. The next exercise is to practice kindness. Whenever possible, be on good terms with everyone. This includes people who work in the service industry, call centers, and telemarketers. After all, they are just trying to make a living. Kindness makes everyone feel of value and is a good way to pay forward blessings. Good things happen for you as kindness is drawn back into our own life experiences. You never know how kindness can affect others. Even small acts can have life-changing effects for others. It may even save lives. Treat those who are closest to you, your parents, your siblings, your children, your pets, and your food with kindness. Practice kindness as a way of life and be prepared to become amazed by the results. Even if you don't see immediate results, rest assured that you are sending out a positive ripple which affects all things. Next, you want to practice goodness. Goodness is excellence of moral quality. It stimulates honesty, fairness, personal responsibility, and personal excellence. Practicing goodness leads to peace and contentment. It increases your value as a physical and spiritual being. Be good to others. Be good to yourself. Rather than spoiling yourself in order to soothe frustrated desires, addictions, dull your senses, or damaged ego, become like a loving, healthful parent to yourself. Plan ahead. Find out what foods, activities, and associations make you feel good and incorporate them into your life plan. Schedule time for honest self-reflection and find ways to improve your interpersonal relationships. Practice mildness. Stay calm. Mildness is closely aligned with patience and usually takes practice. Losing your temper doesn't just happen. There are stages of discontent which lead up to it. Recognizing the feelings associated with these stages allows you to make better choices. When I feel the tension build, I often take time out and remove myself from the situation. After I self-soothe myself back to rationality, I discover new and often novel ways to handle the situation before going back to it. Mildness not only fosters trust, it allows a state of being where we can think clearly and rationally. It also reveals the true intentions of others so that we can have free choice as to whether we want to participate in any particular dialogue or situation. Mildness allows for compassion toward others who unintentionally push our buttons. Many people suffer from the negative effects of contemporary life and behave in ways that are as distressing to themselves as it is to others. Mildness makes room for mercy. Practice patience. Like mildness, patience requires practice. Patience allows room to really listen to people and to assess all the nonverbal cues which are an important part of their message. Instead of thinking about what we're going to say next, we can calmly consider what the other person is communicating. This is an important skill to develop for when dealing with children and adults who suffer from arrested development. Not everyone has been blessed with mature parents, and in the absence of good role models, these ones don't always develop to maturity until they learn to parent themselves later on. Patience is the hallmark of an emotionally mature individual. Next, practice self-control. Self-control is different from patience in that it gives you the choice to self-govern your thoughts, words, and deeds. This is especially important for health transformation as we try new ways of eating, caring for ourselves, and addressing our addictions. Self-control is necessary for engaging in all of these practices: love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, mildness, patience, and faith. It all starts as the tiny seed of self-control within you, in your heart of hearts, which strengthens as you exercise it. Self-control is closely aligned with self-soothing, and it is an important way to show mercy to self. All of these practices must be directed toward self before they can be shone outward toward others. Change yourself and the world automatically changes too. We are all connected. And finally, practice faith. Faith is the assured expectation of things not yet revealed. Faith gives you a special lens, which lets you see the good in others and the positive aspects within challenges. Faith allows for forgiveness, optimism, and perseverance. Faith gives you the power and might to sail through turbulent times, which always precede the upcoming manifestation of your desires. The unpleasant experiences and challenges we face en route to our goals is called turbulence, which is a part of chaos theory, which is a part of quantum mechanics. This is the chaotic state experienced just before manifestation. Wavicles, pulled from subatomic space, which is also known as 0 point, and it's also known as the Planck level, spelt Planck, have a temporary destabilizing effect as they pull energy from our reality to create drag in order to become manifest. As the wavicles cease to exist in an amorphous state, they become three-dimensional, creating the outcome that we have chosen. In practical terms, turbulence means things get messy, even uncomfortable, before they become manifest. So when the challenges come, renew your faith, because your reward is closer than you think. Now is not the time to give up. Summon your courage to put aside your mental control and grasp a quantum reality with all of its benefits. Be patient with yourself. Exercise faith, and you will be amazed by the outcome. So for step 1 conclusion, practicing these virtues will create your state of bliss, so you can experience feelings of perfect happiness and spiritual joy. By practicing the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, we bring comfort to the body, refer to steps 8, 6, and 5, happiness to the mind, refer to steps 9, 7, 4, and 3, and joy to our spirit, refer to steps 2 and 1, thus creating the conditions necessary to feel a state of bliss. This combination creates a magical condition which makes all things possible and allows you to create a reality environment which is peaceful and rewarding. These exercises will improve every experience you have, and in some very surprising ways. Next, please watch Quantum Health Transformation, Step 1 White State of Bliss and Spiritual Exercises, primer, and live videos. In the live workshop video, I will tell you what these exercises have done for me, and will give you some tips to help you to get started. Please feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your consciousness expansion, detoxification, and ascension program. My services are found under the Shop tab on my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com. Again, I highly recommend you buy the PDF version of these lessons so that you will have the transcript, illustrations, and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. You can find all of my PDFs on my website under the Shop tab. And now I want to say a word about the hero's journey. As you commit to learning from the Quantum Health Transformation Program, you will find that you are stepping out into the hero's journey. I will briefly outline the steps found in the classic Hero's Journey and will include some of the images that I have found on the internet, and I'll add them to the replay of this show. So now, for those of you who are not familiar with the hero's journey is a cycle that we go through, every single one of us, throughout our life. We go through it over and over and over again. It's also the basic format for a lot of our entertainment. A really classic example is Star Wars. Star Wars is all about the hero's journey. And the different shows that we watch with superheroes and, feel-good stories, they always involve the hero's journey. So although this is kind of an archetype, we actually all play this out over and over again within our lives, but many people have never really considered the format. So I am going to give you a little overview of 4 different versions of the hero's journey. They're essentially all the same, but different people, of course, will view them differently. So I'm going to run through 4 different versions for you now. So imagine in front of your mind's eye a clock face. And at the 12 o'clock position, there's you experiencing your ordinary life. Now, when we move on to the 1 o'clock position, we get what they call the call. So it's an urge. It's an urge to see things differently. It's an urge to experience things differently. It might be an urge to improve a certain quality or interaction within your life. It might even be the call to reach out for more spiritual growth or even personal evolution. And at about the 2 o'clock position, we find that we have helpers. Now, helpers could be videos we find on YouTube or here on People for People radio. Helpers might mean a friend. It might be someone that we just randomly happen to meet, and they just know the right thing or the right information to help us on our journey. When we get to the 3 o'clock position, we're now stepping outside of our ordinary life, and we're now stepping into the unknown. And after the 3 o'clock position, between the 4 and the 5 o'clock position, we find we run into problems and perils. We face all kinds of challenges that we didn't expect to find. Some of them are fairly minor and they might pass quickly, but others can be really significant, depending on how much you need to shake down your former self, your former health, your former way of believing or seeing things. And it can be a very uncomfortable part of the hero's journey. But once we get down to the 6 o'clock position, it actually gets really bad, because by now our eyes are opened. And it's sometimes called the pit. It can be a time where we experience depression, anxiety, that we find out the world doesn't operate the way we thought it did. And it can be very disheartening. But if we persevere and we push past that, if we realize that's a very temporary phase, we start to come up to the 7 and 8 o'clock position, where we start to discover our inner guru, our inner strengths, that we can help create a different kind of world. And by the time we reach the 9 o'clock position, we are passing from the unknown back into the known. And we receive gifts, and on the return, we have a new level or an evolved state of life. So we're back at the 12 o'clock position, and we've come full circle, but we've been changed forever. And once our consciousness and our awareness has expanded, it never goes back. And we repeat this cycle over and over and over again. And that is the nature of human reality. So now I'm going to move into another illustration which shows you at the 12 o'clock position again. And around the 1 o'clock position, we again get called to some kind of adventure. It could even be creating your brand new social media channel. It could be starting a business. It could be starting a relationship. Really, it could be anything. And also about the 2 o'clock position, we always meet a mentor. Mentors just come into our life. We can't even really describe the process, but they're there, and they encourage us. They encourage us to keep going. Now, at about the 3 o'clock position, again, we're crossing the threshold from the normal world that we're familiar with into the unknown. And again, at about the 4 and 5 o'clock positions, we not only discover the trials and sometimes failures, but we also recognize new helpers. And the new helpers help us to keep going in our hero's journey. And eventually we end up at the bottom in the 6 o'clock position. And on a different chart, it's called death and rebirth. So it's really where we start to die to our former self and be reborn into a new creation, which we have complete control over. Then at about the 7 o'clock position, we receive revelation. We start to go, oh, now I understand what to do. And we start to make more changes. Now, on this particular chart at the 9 o'clock position, we reach a state of atonement, because generally we realize by this point what we've done wrong in our lives, and sometimes we need to make adjustments, and sometimes we need to make some restitution. But again, by the time we've passed through that 9 o'clock position, we get these amazing gifts: knowledge, insight, wisdom, ways of being, ways of doing, so that when we return back into what we call the normal world, we're truly changed, and we're changed forever. We never go back, and we have a much better life and a much better way of seeing everything. So I've got the third chart here, which is the hero in his natural environment. That would be the 12 o'clock position where you start. And you start off in your ordinary world. You have the call to action. Sometimes we have a refusal of the call, and then we often meet a mentor and we embark back on our journey. We cross the threshold. We have trials and, of course, our first failure. We end up meeting allies and enemies, but we start to grow and develop some new skills. And sometimes we have our very first success before the 6 o'clock position, which on this chart is called the grand trial. And it results in revelation and insights, huge consciousness awakening point. After that, as we move into the 7 o'clock position, it involves a discarding of the old self. The 8 o'clock position is the accepting of our new role in life. The 9 o'clock position is the road back. And then stepping up to the final challenge, and we win with much success. Then we step back into the ordinary world, where we see a restoring of order, and we take a new place in the old world. Now, the last illustration I'm going to quickly run through here is, imagine that clock is now a spiral, okay? And you could be anywhere on the spiral, but the starting position is at the smaller end of the spiral. And you have a call to adventure. Sometimes a refusal of the call. You go, no, I don't want to do that. I won't fit in. People will make fun of me. I'll look stupid. I might fail. But then there's the meeting of the mentor, the crossing of the threshold. And in the 4 and 5 o'clock positions, there are tests, new allies, and some new enemies. There are a lot of people who do not like to see you change. They love the old status quo, and when they see you stepping out of it, they don't like it very much, and sometimes they cause trouble. Now, the 5 o'clock position on this chart's called Approach to the Inmost Cave. And the 6 o'clock position is the Ordeal in the Abyss, facing the shadow self. Very, very disturbing, very, very necessary work for us to evolve. After that, we reach the apotheosis, then the ultimate boon. And by the 9 o'clock, we actually don't want to return to the ordinary world, because where we're at, no matter what fringe location you have ended up on, it just becomes so much better and so much more workable than the ordinary world. But eventually we step over back into the ordinary world on the road back home. And then at about the 10 o'clock position, we're the master of two worlds. So we know the world we left. We now have become very good at the world we've created, or the special world. And now our spiral takes us a full step above our original starting point with a return with special knowledge and ascent to a higher plane. And so this is very, very, very exciting because it is a roadmap on what to expect. It's not going to be all rosy and wonderful. There are going to be some very intense challenges, betrayals from friends, all kinds of things. But boy, it sure is an interesting way to live your life. And your world will get better and better and better the more times that we do this. So I really encourage you to step out on the hero's journey. And like I said in the replay, I will post those diagrams, and you can look up on any search engine, look up in the images, the hero's journey, and there's just tons and tons of information. So fill your boots. Now, since we have enough time today, I'm going to add to the lesson and read to you just a couple more of my published articles. The first one I'm going to read is from April 2016, and it's called Walk with Wisdom, and it's by myself, Karen Holton. While permanently losing 178 pounds, I found that I could improve the way I felt, keep losing weight until I hit my healthy goal, and radically improve my fitness level by adding 2 easy activities to my day. Formerly, when I weighed in at 320 pounds, I knew that physical activity was important, but I lacked the discipline to follow a regimented exercise program. I made the effort over the years. I tried aerobics, jogging, and I even worked with a personal trainer at the gym. But I could not keep it up, and I felt like such a failure. Then I found the perfect program for me. The first thing I do is stretch before getting out of bed. I do some basic stretching poses while I am still in the comfort of my bed. And in about 20 minutes or even less, I feel energized and ready to get on with my day. I no longer feel stiff and now remain flexible, which makes me feel years younger. Further, my physical, mental, and social health improved drastically when I started going for half-hour walks each morning. I like to walk in the mornings because otherwise I do not get around to it. And a simple walk in nature gives me so much more than exercise. First of all, walking improves my cardio fitness and pulls lots of oxygen into my body, healing my brain and organs. The mild jiggling and joggling motions of my body parts move my lymph system, which, unlike my blood, has no direct pump for circulation. The easy impact of a simple walk moves the lymph system, which drains toxic waste via sweat and other excretions. When I am out in nature, I breathe in the aromatherapy given off by the plants and the trees. The freshness of the air tells my circadian and other rhythms to synchronize with the planet, and I adapt better to the seasons. The plants and trees also have an uncanny ability to wick away stress and worry, and I find this an excellent opportunity to sort out my thoughts and meditate. I become so grateful for all that I see, hear, and feel while I am in nature, a perfect position for attracting success and health into my life. While out walking, my body becomes grounded and resets to the resonant frequency of the planet, and I feel so alive and connected. The songs of birds and the wind in the trees create a symphonic audio healing adventure. Each season gives me a new perspective: death and renewal, starting over, abundance, and rest. Gratitude and prayer seal my good intentions into healthy outcomes. Wherever you live, come walk with me in spirit. Even if you are at your ideal weight and feel healthy. I have kept 178 excess pounds off for over 15 years now, and I'm really enjoying this body. End of article. The next article is from December 2016. It's called My Superpowers, and of course, it was written by myself, Karen Holton. Superpowers. Everyone has them, but few are even aware of them. Superpowers come from within and are supplied by source energy, also known as Holy Spirit, which is ever present regardless of our current state of consciousness. We do not need the assistance of religious paradigms to access this unlimited power. All we need do is to keep open to the concept by creating sacred space within. As we slowly shift from old paradigm to new, we experience both realities for a while, but we notice the assistance of spiritual technologies to see us through. Rather than learning to do something specific, new paradigm realities emerge all on their own as we remove that which is not really a part of us. Bad programming, patriarchy, religiosity, self-doubt, and poor health can hold us back by lowering our overall resonant frequency. Waiting within the authentic self lies everything we need to know, do, be, and express. One of our superpowers is in finding and utilizing our inner guru. Our inner guru resides as the observer in the presence of the now. When we stop looking backward and forward, time becomes creative magic. The road to mindful, conscious living is the quickest route to find our inner guru. Once we become a permanent unit, our inner guru will reveal more superpowers as we see for ourselves what only new paradigm reality can make possible. The first thing I learned from my inner guru was how to self-diagnose and repair my own self-defeating patterns of thought and behavior, which were holding me back. I soon became aware of just noticeable differences in my life. And as I became aware of these changes, I strengthened my resolve to continue with this fascinating ascension process. The effects are always physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all at the same time. I discovered the powerful influence of a biologically appropriate diet, which can include blue-green algae, seaweeds, and wild plants. They supply advanced nutrition and medicines for our bodies, but they also alter our DNA, assisting with our ascension process by raising our overall resonant frequency. Then I discovered crystals and Zendome's orgonite, which amplify the power and the influence of crystals. Think of crystals as beautiful spiritual friends with diverse personalities. They communicate on a bandwidth of hundreds of thousands of kilohertz. They actually pulse faster than the speed of light. Further, angels are connected to specific crystal frequencies, which is why precious and semi-precious stones are used as spiritual communicators. Crystals exist on a continuum which bridge the realms of heaven and earth. Since finding my inner guru, I have developed an amazing array of superpowers like becoming a channel, a shamanic healer, and I have the ability to create in the abstract and bring this into our shared reality. Work with me and let me introduce you to your inner guru. Once a mind has expanded, it never goes back. And a reward within New Paradigm Living is superpowers, which will never let you down. End of article. Just a reminder, the Quantum Health Transformation online course is free, and if you would like to help support my work, please purchase some of my beautiful Zen Domes orgonites. Due to the pandemic, we are having difficulty sourcing supplies, and so we're unable to make more at this time. But there is still plenty to choose from. If you want to help create the change you wish to see in the world, or make contact with ET and or participate in the Intergalactic Resettlement Program, take exquisite care of the temple body, raise your vibrational frequency, and learn from the Quantum Health Transformation Program. Let me know if you have any questions about this or the Intergalactic Resettlement Program, and I will do my best to answer them on my next show. You can email me at forbiddentransformation@gmail.com. Join me and bring your friends as we go live at 1 p.m. Mountain Time every Tuesday here on People for People Radio. A special thank you to Gaz and Vanessa for hosting me and moderating for me on People for People Radio. And much love and light to you, the viewers. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. If you would like to enjoy more of my content, check out my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com, where you will find an abundance of free resources to assist with energetic ascension into physical, mental, and spiritual paradise. You will find the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, my free, no strings attached comprehensive online lifestyle course, the Quantum Guide Show, interviews with awakened masters. Let them share their quantum work with you. Forbidden Transformation with Karen and Chris. I co-host along with Chris Matthew of Forbidden Knowledge News, and together we teach people how to make positive ET contact, improve your life, and find your experiencer community. And if you would like to support my work, you will also find my online shop